Welcome to the Health Coach Nation podcast. My name is Hailey Rowe. I'm a sales and marketing coach and strategist for health coaches, life coaches, and wellness professionals who want to become a leader in their field by building their online community, rocking their sales process, and finally feeling confident about how they promote themselves and their marketing. On this show, we talk about tips to grow your business, save yourself time, and finally be able to create a sustainable, profitable business. Let's get into it.
Are you looking to get paid clients consistently without needing to rely solely on social media and without needing a big audience? If so, I want to invite you to my upcoming free live training. It's going to be private, hands-on, and on Zoom, and I want to invite you to apply at haileyrowe.com/training. Make sure you apply because I want to make sure that the content I'm going to be teaching is relevant for you and your business, and I cannot wait to see you there. haileyrowe.com/training.
Hey, let's talk about increasing your Facebook reach because, as you know, if you put a lot of work into your posts to grow your business, to grow your audience, and you feel like nobody's seeing it, or why bother because it's crickets, today we're going to talk about how you can address that in some ways you can increase your Facebook reach. So before we do that, though, I want to let you know about a really exciting training that I'm going to be doing that's private. It is going to be on Zoom, and it's going to be teaching how to book paying clients consistently without social media overwhelm. So meaning not obsessing about the algorithms, and also without stressful launches, like high pressure, stressful launches where you're like, oh my God, you got to sign up now. The doors are closing. So if you want to be a part of that training, go to haileyrowe.com/training. You can learn more about it. You can sign up. You can learn more about the Zero to Hero Coach Inner Circle process that I use with clients. And I can't wait to do it live. So let's talk about your Facebook. And by the way, just real quick about that training, I'm going to be offering a giveaway I'm going to be giving for people who attend live very soon. So stay tuned for that. Okay, Facebook, here we go. You want to first take a look at where you've been posting on Facebook. And most of you would probably say you post on your business page, and that's about it. But I want to encourage you to start either sharing your business page posts every once in a while. It doesn't have to be a super salesy post. It could be a tip or educational post to your personal profile every once in a while. Because when you're engaging in Facebook groups or when you are trying to get more reach, Facebook doesn't really promote your business page posts much at all unless you're paying for ads. And you will get more reach if you're posting it on your personal profile directly, like meaning not sharing your business page post, or sharing your business page post to your personal profile to be safe with the Facebook rules, which says, you can't be promoting all the time on your personal Facebook profile. So the point is, though, if you share business pages post to your profile, that's not considered that you're selling on your page. You're just sharing a page post to your personal profile. So the point being, use your personal profile if you haven't already. The second point being, use groups to post. So if you have a really good value post, you post it on Instagram, and you're in a Facebook support group that allows value posts without promoting, you could share it to a group and just get your face out there. And what might happen is people will click on your profile and they'll see your profile about section that you're a coach if you set up your profile properly, which is something that I teach my clients to do to optimize their profiles on social media. But if you have your profile set up where you say what you do in your about section, you have a couple posts that demonstrate what you do, or you have a client testimonial on your personal profile, and you post it in a Facebook group from your personal profile that's a value post, that's a better way to get yourself out there than just posting on your business page, if that makes sense. So your business page is kind of like stay relevant, have one in case you want to do Facebook ads later, but it's really not the place to be if you're trying to get a ton of reach. And you can be sharing your posts to your group or posting directly in your own Facebook group if you have a group to get more reach, or sharing value posts directly, natively, not sharing your business page posts to groups, but just posting natively in groups you're in to get your posts seen by more people who would be actually interested in your posts, and to start building rapport and to start driving traffic to your personal profile which in turn could lead to people reaching out to you and things like that. So that's the first thing, is know the business page is really only going to be seen by like 6% of people maybe, right? So that means also don't be afraid to talk about the same things all the time. Even though you feel like it's repetitive, people probably don't see it. Now, the next thing to get more reach is start sharing your posts to your Facebook stories. So if you haven't been using your own Facebook stories on your personal profile or your page, start to just take that little extra step after you post it and share it to your story. You can also set up your Instagram stories to share directly to your Facebook business page stories or your Facebook personal page stories. So that's another thing you can do if you want to remove the extra step for yourself and just make it automatic. Now, comment below yes if you have a Facebook page. Comment no if you don't. I'd love to know kind of what you're dealing with Facebook. Feel free to post any questions as well. And let's continue. So the next thing to ask yourself, or to do, to get more reach with your Facebook posts, is to structure your posts better. So a lot of times people just post this long thought process they had for the day. And they're talking about themselves, and they're talking about, just stuff that maybe isn't relevant to their ideal clients. So you want to think about, what does your ideal clients want to be hearing in your Facebook posts? And yeah, not every single person's going to resonate with your posts if you have a niche or target audience. But the point being is that you're going to deeply resonate more with certain people, which is what you want. And to not be fooled by just thinking, oh, well, I just want a ton of likes and comments because that's going to make me feel better about myself. But that doesn't necessarily always lead to conversion. So if you're doing good posts and maybe it's not getting a ton of likes, but it's speaking directly to your ideal clients, and it's structured in a good way, and it's nurturing, even though you might not see the likes and the comments and stuff up front, just know that it is adding up to your value bank, if you call it your value assets, to your niche, so that they might be behind the scenes like, I think I might reach out to this person. I can't tell you how many times people in this group in particular who have never liked anything, never commented, never made themselves known, have ended up booking a discovery call with me and saying like, oh my gosh, I love your posts. I've been following you for 3 years, blah, 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 right? So just know that there will be crickets, but you got to stay the course. And the way you can structure your post to increase your reach would be the following. Number one, you got to start looking at your headlines. If your first line in your post doesn't make me want to keep reading, it doesn't capture my attention, it's not clear to my struggles or how you're going to help me, or my dream goals, if I'm your ideal client seeing it, then it's not going to get a lot of attention, right? But if you are directly calling me out, speaking to me, saying something that's going to capture my attention or make me laugh or make me want to keep reading, that's a good hook or headline. Then you want to expand on that hook or headline by either going more into the pain I'm having as your ideal client or the dream goal I have as your ideal client, and giving either a story or value or education or something about addressing my issue or the thing that your post is about. And then at the end, you want to give a call to action. So if you haven't been giving calls to action in your posts, it's key to start doing that. And calls to action don't always have to be work with me. In fact, they should not always be your call to action. And I do have a 20 calls to action guide, by the way. So if you want my free 20 calls to action guide, comment 20 calls to action below. But the point being, you got to say something like, hey, let's say your post was about overcoming sugar cravings and how you did that as a health coach or whatever. At the bottom, you might say, yeah, and if you want my, sugar craving, my 3 ways to jumpstart healthy eating and overcome sugar cravings guide, and obviously that's way too long of a title, but you might say something like, comment info below and I'll send it to you. So that'd be a call to action. Or it might be something like, what's your biggest sugar temptation, or whatever, however you want to label it, your favorite sugar food, something like that. So that would get people to engage. Or share this with a friend, if it was a different type of post, maybe you posted like a motivational post, share this with a friend who needs to hear this or something like that. So those are calls to action. Now, the next thing is to, when you're doing videos on Facebook, it's better to do it live either through a third-party tool that I use, like StreamYard, to make it easier for me to do my lives and also to allow me to have interviews on my lives, or through Facebook and do lives instead of uploading a pre-made long-form video from your phone. When you go live, Facebook notifies people, right? So that would be better, and even better if you have an interview with somebody else who could share it to their Facebook profile or page or something like that. So you might want to consider doing something like that. So lives instead of pre-made videos is another tip. And then when it comes to uploading short videos, like if your video is under 1 minute, you definitely want to take advantage these days of Facebook Reels. So rather than just re-uploading your Instagram reel, for example, to Facebook, which Facebook's not going to love because you're just repurposing it. Now, don't get me wrong, done is better than perfect. And if that's what you can do right now, just go for it. But for me, I started to shift to uploading my reels that I did do on Instagram, but the direct video file instead of the Instagram reel directly to Facebook Reels as its own Facebook reel using the Facebook's platform for reels. And that gets more likes and reaches than if I was doing it, just repurposing my Instagram reel and plugging it in on Facebook. Now, the next thing is to actually, Facebook is a platform where you don't want to be posting more probably than like 1 to 2 times a day, maybe, because at least recent data shows that when you post more than 2 times a day, or more than 1 to 2 times a day, your posts get like 60% less reach, which this could change in the future. As you know, I'm not a huge fan of just like relying on algorithms in your business, which is why we talk about other marketing methods in addition or instead of social media. But the point being, right now, that's just kind of what the data is, and it could change. It could be different next week. But the point is, you don't have to be posting all the time on Facebook as static posts or post to your profile. To your stories, you can post multiple times a day. And reels, would be good to post maybe once a day if you can. But you don't need to be posting like static posts all the time on Facebook. And the other thing to think about that will help your reach with Facebook posts is you don't want to use salesy words in your posts. You want to either space out the letters of those words so that Facebook doesn't like detect them, or use different words. And the reason being is when they detect something like flash sale or buy now or promo or, sale, like things like that, they don't get your posts as much reach because you're not paying them for advertising. And number 2, you're using these promo words that they don't like. They don't feel like that's valuable content. So what you might do is space out the letters of those words so it's a little more disguised, or put an emoji in between the letters, or not say those words, use different words. But be careful about that. And then the last thing is last couple of things is if you're writing these posts using that structure I gave you, make sure you're spacing out lines and paragraphs and you're not having chunky paragraphs. It feels counterintuitive to put like each sentence on its own line and in its own paragraph. And I know that's not like grammatically what a paragraph is, but it helps people who skim read. It helps your posts get more readability. So it is a good idea. And the other thing you want to check before you post is like, could somebody skim reading, or somebody who is like, a simple 10-year-old understand what I'm saying? Is your messaging clear? Is what you're saying clear? That goes for all platforms that you're going to use, not just Facebook, but just something to check. And then lastly, you don't want to put a link in your actual post caption if it's off of Facebook. So if your link to your website or your link to your email freebie is something you want to put in your Facebook post, you don't want to just put it in your Facebook post. You want to say link in the comments because Facebook will detect like, oh, you're trying to drive people off our platform. We don't like that. So you want to put it in the comments. Now, the last thing is you want to tag. So this is a bonus tip. You don't have to do this. But if you have a Facebook group, for example, and it's about community and it's about masterminding, and you put a post about how you overcame a certain fear or something, and you want to engage your group, you could go in the comments and tag a couple people in your group, or you could use the new everyone tag, which people have a controversial opinion about, and I don't think you should overuse it. But you could tag a couple people individually in your group and be like, hey, what's a fear you want to overcome? Let's motivate each other, or let's keep each other accountable or something, and get them to engage on your post. And that will help you, the Facebook algorithm, say like, oh, this is a valuable conversational post that people are getting value from, and expose it to more people. So hopefully this helps you get some clear ideas about how you can improve your Facebook reach. And if you're really struggling with your marketing strategy and how to get out there on social media, or you don't want to do social media, I know some of my clients want to start with local marketing, do apply for the upcoming free live private training at haileyrowe.com/training. And we can even talk about, I'm going to be showing you my process to marketing and getting clients consistently. But if you want to talk sooner than that about your own personal business strategy and getting some custom support with that, you can always go to haileyrowe.com and learn more. But thanks for watching, and I will talk to you soon.
Hey, thanks so much for listening to this podcast. And if it's really helpful for you, I'd really appreciate if you share it and or leave a written podcast review. This tells the podcast sites that our show is useful, and it will be promoted to more people that way. Thanks again.